SummerSlam Recap. MVP versus Triple H. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Becky Lynch hinting retirement. The week that was in the world of pro wrestling. All this and more on another episode of the Connoisseurs of Wrestling podcast. Once again, I go by the name of Eddie. That's Uncle Marcus.
Yo.
This is Brad, and thank you for listening, telling your friends, subscribing if you will. Like you said, you can find us on the Sports Bros podcast page, the Connoisseurs of Pro Wrestling playlist, and we want to thank you. Keep listening, keep sharing. We're trying to grow the podcast, trying to make it fun, trying to make it exciting. Somebody told me a while back, actually, our friend Tara said, you know what, I want to find a good podcast where everybody wasn't drunk or high or inebriated. She's like, you guys do pretty good. Thank you, Tara. Appreciate it. Thank you for listening. Keep on listening. And tell everybody that you know about the Connoisseurs of Pro Wrestling podcast.
Tell your friends about us.
Tell your
Yes, please.
Tell your mama and them too.
Mama
and your uncles, your cousins, your mailman, your teachers, your milkman. Is that still a thing? No.
In Canada.
Yeah, in Canada.
Huh?
Yeah.
So Canadians listening, tell your milkman.
Hey. Yep. What I was about to say. To y'all that got side pieces, tell them to.
Your sneaky links.
To the married and unmarried, the sure and not so sure.
The Splackavellis of the world.
Oh my God.
Y'all remember that song? Wow.
Splackavelli.
For those who might not be familiar with that song, go and look up the song Splackavelli by Pressure.
Yes.
Like the pressure, but instead of an E at the end with an A. Wow, it's 90s R&B at its not so finest.
He ain't your husband. He ain't your boyfriend. Just somebody you can call when you put you in the mix. You gonna need a fix. What's my name? Oh man, you know what, man? It's funny that you say that, man, because I think I might have that CD in my collection still.
Oh my God!
I didn't buy it. I acquired it. Let's just say that.
Acquisition.
Yeah.
In the 90s.
Yeah. I was like, what's this? She's like, Splackavelli, one of my mama's CDs. Let me listen to this here. What the hell we got going on here? I know what a Splackavelli means, but I don't think too many people use that term.
No, I ain't heard that since like 98, 99. If then.
We probably use it for a grand total of 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah. And that was it. All right, we're going to have an episode one day where we do like some 90s R&B nostalgia stuff. We're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff on this podcast because we like to talk, in case you haven't noticed. So let's go ahead and hop right into it, shall we? SummerSlam up there in Cleveland, Ohio. Friday, it rained. I had concerns. But Saturday, the weather cleared up and it turned out pretty well. And I had a chance to watch the pay-per-view actually, like the very next, Monday? Yeah, because that's when I have some time off. I watched it Monday, and I will say this: 7 matches. It was a solid pay-per-view or premium PLE. It was a solid premium live event. So before we hop into it, start talking about the match. Like Marcus, what do you think about the overall of SummerSlam, if you will?
I like you. I didn't get to catch it live that night. I had tickets. My wife and I had tickets to go to see Josh Johnson, comedian in concert, and that was a really good show. So we had a little bit of date night, but I did watch sporadically over the next few days. I watched a little bit here, a little bit there, and I actually didn't finish it. I watched all the matches except for the main event. But what I saw, I thought it was good. And, even just in between what I've been seeing online, people were complaining, which it just seems like that's starting to become commonplace. Just people just complaining and bitching and whining about every little thing, whether it's WWE, AEW, doesn't matter which promotion. People just want to whine and complain about stuff. But what I've seen, it was great. Like, I thought it started off really good with Rhea and Liv. Like, Liv really impressed me. I've never really been the biggest fan of Liv's wrestling. keyword there, lives wrestling. The girl looks great. But she impressed me in that match. Rhea's one of my favorite women wrestlers in the game right now. But that was a solid match, just physical wise, and then the story it told with all the things culminating with Dom and Rhea and Mommy, and then Liv being the psycho girlfriend on the outside in, and Dom. And we talked about this the other day. Like Dom, literally, how are you already a heel and you turn even more of a heel with the heel turn, and how you just flip from Rhea to Liv and all of that. But that was a great match. Once again, Logan Paul just continues to show out every time he gets in the ring. As much as of a human scumbag as he is, that dude can go in that ring. And the match for him and LA Knight was a really good one. That what was it? It was like the springboard moonsault that he did.
Yep.
I was like, oh my God, that was just amazing. Then I saw somebody else do it. I believe it was on Collision the other night. I forget which. I think it was Collision, and they did it, but it wasn't as smooth and fluid as Logan's. I'm like, man, this is somebody who I can't remember who it was right off bat, but this is somebody who does this frequently, and it was good. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't horrible by any means, but Logan Paul's was just smooth as silk, man. But yeah, I'm glad the LA Knight finally got a belt on him, finally got a title to capitalize on his overness, which is kind of cool off, but I'm glad it's still up there high enough to where people cared and stuff. Braun Breaker and Sammy was a good match, I thought, and I'm glad to see Braun is getting his time. Got to see another side clip to see his daddy and his uncle way up high, celebrating and stuff like that. And me being like Steiners is one of my favorite tag teams of all time, so that was cool for them to be able to enjoy that with their son and nephew. And what else am I missing? And like I said, I haven't caught of course I know. Oh yeah, Gunther and Dane Priest. Another good match. Gunther's my dude. Glad he's the world title. I thought maybe Dame's title reign was a little short, but in context of the story between him and Finn and how he screwed Finn last year at SummerSlam, it made perfect sense. And I'm sure he's probably going to get another go round in the future. I mean, the dude's over, and he's great. And yeah, so yeah, I need to go. I will go back and catch the main event in its entirety. Of course, I know how it ends. Of course, I know Brad's favorite wrestler ends up showing up at the end and all of that. So
What did I
just giving
say?
a thumbs down, y'all out there.
What did I say? Hey, somebody coming back. Somebody's coming back. I said, I don't
Called
know
it.
who, but somebody's coming back. Yeah, somebody coming back tonight. It's like I said, it's one of the big four pay-per-views. If you're gonna come back, you're gonna come back at Backlash or SummerSlam.
Backlash. WrestleMania Backlash.
Yeah, that's right. WrestleMania Backlash. Yeah, you want to come back at Spring Stampede or Survivor Series. Which one is it? Just I'm starting to name random pay-per-views. Remember when they had that damn, what was it called? Great Balls of Fire?
Oh
Good
yeah, I do remember that.
Lord.
I was like, wow, not Great Balls of Fire.
That
Dude.
that had to be a Vince McMahon brainchild. I
It
got
was.
an idea. We're gonna call it Great Balls of Fire.
Hey
Why would you
pal,
do, why
hey,
would you do that and risk getting sued?
you're sitting there listening to Jerry Lee Lewis, like, hey pal, hey, I got an idea. What if we called it Great Balls of Fire? Yeah, Vince, and I'm sure some yes man was probably blowing smoke up his ass. Like, yeah, man, that sounds great. That sounds awesome. It doesn't, but it's Vince, we gotta kind of go with it. That's probably how that happened. And you see it was a one time only. Was it like one or two times, or it was one time only?
One. It
One
was one
time.
time only.
Good.
And the wrong person won. Wrong person won at that paper.
What was it? Was that the
I
greatest
won.
match, greatest wrestling match ever between Edge and Orton?
No,
No.
that was
No,
at a
that was at a Backlash.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
This one was either Joe and Brock Lesnar or Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar in the main event.
Damn, Great Balls of Fire. I was like, this is what we do. This is what we doing. I can see John Laurinaitis. Hey Vince, we gotta try that. That does sound good. Hey, you're looking pretty vascular, Vince. Great balls of fire. Can somebody give me some water? I don't need it. I always talk like this. Great balls of fire. Yeah, Vince. Oh, it sounds awesome. People power.
Johnny Laryngitis.
Yeah. John
Uh,
Laryngitis here.
so it seems that they actually were going to get sued because they ended up using Great Balls of Fire as the theme song. So they talked to Jerry Lee Lewis and his people, and they said everything's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so was Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe for the
Oh,
Universal title.
yeah, you're right. The wrong person won that.
Yeah, the wrong person won.
They
Yeah.
should have gave Joe one run with the title in WWE.
Oh,
He
at
would have killed it.
least.
It's bad that Samoa Joe's memory, his WWE memory, will be him at a WrestleMania with a plastic poncho on,
Wearing that blue suit that he always
wearing a
wore.
blue suit. Or you better get your mans. You better get him.
Yeah.
You see him? You better get him.
I
Yeah.
mean, at least we have NXT Joe.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
we should talk about that on a future podcast. Fumbled talent. That might be the whole
Ooh.
podcast by itself. Yes.
Ooh, that's
Ooh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Fumble talent. Let me write that down for next week. Fumble
Fumble
talent.
talent.
UMBLED.
Look at that.
Fumble.
Y'all are involved in the creative process here on the Connoisseurs of Wrestling.
Yeah, see, look, you can't see my notepad, but I got a yellow kind of sort of illegal notepad. No, but
Illegal.
yeah. But
No bad.
Contraband from Cuba.
yeah. It's that good paper. It's that good paper.
Fidel Castro approved.
Yeah. Somebody come knocking on my door. Miss Vereen, you got the paper? I got some toilet paper over there. Throwing it out the bathroom, flushing it down the sink like it's dope or some shit. All right, yeah. So back to SummerSlam. I saw the Nia Jackson Bailey match. I liked it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good one.
I liked it because I didn't like, well, I said, well, damn, I don't know what I'm gonna get. And I thought it was gonna be a clunker, man, but they went like 12 minutes and 30 seconds, and it was good. Had a few false finishes, and Nia Jax put that annihilated that ass on her twice, and
Yeah.
then got the 1, 2, 3, and now Queen Nia is the champion once the game. It's crazy that she's only been a champion twice.
And Tiffany Stratton with the tease of cashing
Yeah.
in and all of that, even when she promised Nia she wouldn't do it. But yeah, that was cool too. And might I say, Nia looked great in that match. Like I saw someone say this, and I think I agree. Nia looked the best that she's ever looked in the ring. Not necessarily just moving around in the ring and wrestling, but just physically. Like she looks stunning, I
Overall.
think. Yes.
Yeah.
So does Bailey. Don't get me wrong. Bailey looked great too. BBL Bailey.
Yeah,
But no,
buddy.
but yeah, that was a good solid match. And I just wish I hope I haven't really seen a lot of people poo-poo on it, but I know a lot of people are really down on Nia Jax. They've been down on Nia Jax since her return, and they call her a botch machine, and a lot of people go in on her size and things of that nature. And it's like personally, I think she's improved by leaps and bounds. Like since she's come back, she seems to be taking it a lot more seriously than she did. She hasn't injured anybody yet, to my knowledge, and she's just been great. She's been a great heel, I think, because she just looks like she just doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
And it translates well into what she's doing. But but seeing her TikTok videos backstage, having fun with the other people, is like this gal got to be having too much fun. Like she doesn't seem like she's phoning it in here.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I thought it was a solid match.
Yeah, Nia Jax is vastly improved from her first run. Appearance wise, to how she is in the ring, to on the mic, everything, like a complete package. Like she knows how to play the monster heel. She knows how to play the mean girl, if you will. She knows how to be bad, be real bad, real bad. I remember she came up to the arena, she was wearing something. Whew. Anyways,
Though I do think that Bailey's title, that's another title reign that might have been a little short.
yeah, it's like you just got it. You just got it. But I mean, if you think about between Braun Breaker winning the IC title, LA Knight winning the US title, uh, Gunther winning the world title, which is a knockoff of the WCW belt. I don't care what anybody says. A big gold. And I'm missing somebody. Am I missing somebody? It was 4 title changes or 3 title changes.
The LA Knight title change.
See, LA
They,
Knight.
they, LA Knight beat Logan Paul. Yeah.
Yeah, LA Knight beat Logan Paul,
yeah.
Gunther,
Yeah, it was
Nia
just those, like,
Jax.
because Liv retained and Cody retained, right?
Yeah.
So,
Braun Breaker.
Rumble, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I'm saying like I think it's a whole the WWE, I think as a product, like especially on Raw, which is on Raw and everything, it's going in a different direction, aka the Netflix direction. And I think they want to put people up there that are going to be good. I mean, you got Gunther, the classic, foreign heel, and then you have the, the hot, fresh up and comer Braun Breaker. I mean, he's already arrived. I was going to put him on my list earlier tonight, but I was like, nope. He has a title. He's there. He's now. He's next. He's now. Um, and then you have that story, like I said, like you said about Dominic Mysterio. Like, how in the hell do you do like? So what is this like? He's a mega heel now. You know?
Yep.
Yeah. He's a mega ultra heel now, and it's just how the trajectory of like, okay, we're gonna do this, and this, and so it'll be interesting to see how, Roman fits into things. It'll be interesting to see how, how a lot of superstars fit into things. I mean, if we go ahead and go into Monday Night Raw, what is it? We got Randy Orton versus Gunther at the Bash in Berlin, right? That's what we call Bash in Berlin.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's already set up. And speaking of Randy Orton, I had no idea that Randall Keith Orton was 290 pounds.
That Joker is huge now.
I was like, that Joker got a head like a rock wallow. Look at his head. Just all head. And the thing about it is, I was like, why did he get so doggone big? And Brad, you kind of told us like why like he got so doggone big.
Yeah, yeah, because of the whole back surgery that,
Mm,
that he had, and then this is what that was kind of like thrown around, just to kind of like stabilize his body. But I was like, geez, so they made him get bigger, but of course that's muscle, so he's dense already, and it's kind of stabilizing his back just in case anything occurs. So man, that's wild that that man is 290 pounds now. He went the Batista route
yeah,
reverse Batista.
yeah, yeah.
Ooh, that's a monster.
Yeah, but Batista's weight found its way to Randy Orton's body. Because I remember, because matter of fact, when you said it, I looked online and I forgot it was a Monday Night Raw he was being announced, and the girl's like from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing 270 pounds. He's like, you gotta go up. I'm he's like, I'm 290. I've been eating. I've been eating. I've been eating. I was like, well, we heard it from the man himself. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. He looked like his dad in the face so much.
He
He
does.
does.
All
Yeah,
he needs is the curly hair.
he looked like Cowboy Bob so much, and that's not an insult. You just look at him like, boy, you look like your daddy. Um, boy, you look like your damn daddy. No, but
Just like a spitting image.
yeah, spin them.
Boy,
Yeah,
let
yeah.
me tell you.
Only thing you missing is them tight ass jeans, that dusty cap, and that cast on your arm for about 47 years. Oh, look at you. You look like your damn daddy. Um, so yeah, to see Randy at 290, like I get it. Sometimes you have to do things to. Sometimes you gotta lose weight to preserve your career. Sometimes you gotta, gain weight. Like like that back area. I guess the more muscle you have around it and the bumps you take, you don't have to worry about it hurting as much as it once was. So yeah, I'm like, look. I was like, look at Randy. I said, now think about it. About a year and a half ago, look at Gunther and then look at Randy. Like how Randy was kind of, lean. Gunther was a little chunky, and now it's the other way around. Because Gunther is like what, 250 pounds or something like that? It's like small.
Yeah,
Something like
Yeah,
that.
it's
yeah,
insane, and he still carries the same intensity as larger Walter. He's still
mm,
able to like deliver the chops and do his ring general things. That it
yeah,
says that Randy went from 240 to 280 and he says he felt fantastic. He said, I felt like I was meant to be this weight my whole life, but my frame wasn't able to sustain it until this fusion. So good for Randy.
Good for him, man. Good for him, man. Randy, I remember seeing a video of Randy Orton at a show, asking somebody, "Hey, let me get a cigarette. Let me get a cigarette." That was wild, Randy. Yeah, there's a video on YouTube. I'm like, yo, he told him so smoking cigarettes, and I was all like surprised. I'm like, no, they're human beings. That's what they do. So the highlight of Raw, let's go ahead and get right to it. The Wyatt Six. They came out, they wrestled, they beat up everybody. Dex Loomis looked different. Then we had Joe Gacy, and then we had Rowan and Michael Cole. Shout out to him. Instead of like, like the characters like Huskus and the Vulture and everything, he kind of introduced them as their characters. And I thought that was unique. I didn't know he was gonna be like, well, we got Huskus here. No, we know who that is. And we got
Right.
this one here. No, we know who that is. So it was just it was interesting to see like Dexter Loomis, he still stayed true to the Dexter, some things of Dexter Loomis gimmick, like crawling on his knuckles and everything and doing all that. And it was good to see Joe Gacy get called up to the main roster. And it's always good to see Redbeard, do his thing as well too. As you got Sister Abigail sitting there in front of Uncle Hottie in the rocking chair. I'm like, you know what? This is, yeah. Bray is smiling. He is smiling. I'm smiling too because at first I was not like when Firefly Funhouse came out. I trashed it, didn't like it. I was searching for something else, but then like from the psychology standpoint, I was like, oh, okay. Now I see how everything plays into everything. Was there any other standout moments on Monday Night Raw?
Bronson Reed.
Woo, man.
Bronson Reed smushing old Seth into the mat several times. How many? What, it was like 6 or 7 of them?
About 10.
Dang.
About 10. Because we were on the phone. I was like, okay, there's one. There's two. There's three. People come out and then he got like 8 or 9 more often. When I say when you want to make an impact, when you want to make a name, when you want to be like, hey, you need to look over here, that's how you do it.
That's exactly how you do it.
That's how you do it. Because I remember saying like in a group chat, I'm like, why does he remind me of Bam Bam Bigelow all over again? Big, fast, and agile, just flying on top rope, just splashing, splashing, splashing. Seth Rollins to the point he was coughing up blood. We all know that's the Kool-Aid Pat with a dab of water on it, and magic happens. And so it made him look like, hey, like big badass heel. Like this is a guy you don't want to mess with. Speaking of another big guy that finally made his debut on Raw, Odyssey Jones came through and beat up 30 people.
Oh yeah.
Huh.
After 2 years of being missing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there you are.
What?
Yeah.
Odyssey Jones? The Odyssey Jones sighting?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
And he looked like he's in pretty good shape too, because I know he's always been a bigger guy, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But when he was primarily in NXT, it looked like he definitely could have, benefited from more conditioning. But looking at him on Monday, it's like you could see like definition and tone in his arms, and he looked, kind of just slimmer. It's like wow. And I think you said it the other day, Brad. Just the PC, man. The PC does wonders. And I don't know if that's what he's been doing and that's where he's been hiding out at, but yeah, he looks great, and it's going to be interesting to see how they do this. I know a lot of people are already pushing back on the thought of him being the third member of the New Day now and taking Big E's place. I'm kind of the belief, like, yeah, just it might be time to break it up. Maybe not as dramatic as the Rascals break up last night or Tuesday or whatever on NXT, but I mean, it's looking like maybe Big E, if he is coming back, he ain't gonna be for a while. Woods and Kofi are already kind of teasing some tension with the whole um um Final Testament and Karrion Kross and that whole bland storyline there.
Oh my
So
God.
just instead of trying to shoehorn Odyssey there, just let them go their way. I don't know, maybe if this is just part of maybe Odyssey is gonna be the wedge that breaks them up. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. But yeah.
Yeah.
It would be a heartbreaking day if the New Day actually split. That would suck. Like it would suck. I
it would, but I just feel like they've gone their course, in my opinion, and they've just done all they can do. They broke all the records with the titles. Biggie, he has his injury, and it's just not the same without him. And they just seem to be kind of floundering for a guy who used to be a world champion,
Ugh.
and another guy who his biggest accolade, other than the 50 million tag reigns they've had, he's been King of the Ring, which they recognized for all of like a month, a year or two ago, however long ago that was. It's
Yeah, it
like
was 2 years ago.
maybe it's time for them to let it go.
Mhm.
Like they say, eventually all good things must come to an end. And what is it left for the New Day to do? That's how I look at it. What is it left for them to do? And I would hate to see them break up, but it's kind of like uh we ain't really got what else is there. I mean, unless Woods gets a world title reign or something like that, then that's it. But other than that, like other than push more merch and still be over with the fans and still, and do things of that nature, it's like what else? They don't have anything else left to prove. They honestly and truly don't. And it's been a hell of a run to see a black faction of three guys that long, for that length of time from from 2000 what 16 or so. I think I was still living in it. Just about the I think I was in the process of moving from Atlanta up here to Ohio, so that's been about damn near 10 years ago.
Hmm.
If you think about they've been doing this thing for 10 years, like consistently, through injuries, through ups, through downs, and not a lot of factions can say that. I mean, you look at the Shield, they came and was like what for 2 years and broke them up. Yeah, so I mean, for them to be an overstable, they've put them in the Hall of Fame, not now, but right now. So yeah, it's just at the point where yeah, something got to happen with Final Testament, man. It's just hanging out over there with Jack Perry in the unseasoned chicken district, and it's just
This is what it needs.
some Louisiana hot. That's some good hot
Louisiana.
sauce.
That
That,
is some hot sauce.
that's some good hot sauce. That's some good hot sauce, boy.
That ain't no Texas Pete right there.
No.
No, Texas Pete is good, but Louisiana hot sauce, it's
Yeah,
it's
Texas Pete is all right for adding some flavor to it and a little teeny tiny kick. But yeah, that Louisiana, whoo, that
yeah.
have you going for some liquid.
I find Texas Pete slightly watered down for some reason.
Yeah,
It is.
Ah,
I'm a Cholula guy myself.
yeah.
Same.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
Dude, which flavor? Which flavor is your favorite flavor, Cholula?
The regular kind. I might have to try the Cholula green only because Booker T talks about it so much. That hot Cholula green dog. I've never actually
It's
had the
good.
green, but
It's
yeah, I might have
good.
to try it because I'm guessing what like tomatillo in it, in that what they call it, the little
Yeah,
tomatillo
yeah,
pepper.
tomatillos. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 So there's that one. There's the chili garlic, the chipotle one, and the chili lime, which is my favorite.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I had a month back that's really good?
What's that?
All right, so dig this, right? You take some apple slices, cut them up right, and guess what you sprinkle on it?
Tahini.
Yes, some tahini.
Orale tajín, homie.
Some
Love
tahini,
it.
some tahini, and I was like, this is next level snacking.
Hmm.
Like apples, tahini, you get the blend. It was a red. What did she have? She had a red apple, and that red apple was sweet. And then you
Mhm.
had that heat of the tahini, and it just woo, make your head spin.
Tahine and apples. That's a good mix because my go-to for tahine is that cucumbers and lime juice.
Ooh.
That sounds interesting. I don't think I've ever had tahini. I had to get a little, what do you call it? Not a bottle, but like a little
Yeah,
Shaker.
yeah,
shaker.
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's a bottle of it. They come in like 2, 3 different sizes in Walmart.
Mm.
So,
Uh,
I know what
yeah, it's solid.
I know what I'm doing tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Connoisseurs of Good Food podcast. As you can tell, like we are very well versed over here, man. We talk about some of everything and just We have fun. We have fun. We also, like I said, we also thank you for listening and taking the time out of your busy schedule to include us on your drive home while you're cleaning the house,
Are you
while
taking a
you're
dump?
taking a dump, things happen. Long road trips, because this average about an hour, hours for pocket change. So you're gonna depend on what state. Now, if you live in Texas, you gotta listen to us about 8 times.
Ooh.
Yeah. You gotta Matt, no, you know what you can do? You can listen to all. Let me see. You can listen to this is episode 7, right? This is episode 7. So next week when we
Yes,
drop
sir.
episode 8, you started
Yep.
one side of Texas on the west and drive all the way to the east, and you'll listen to our whole catalog. We only got a handful of shows.
Yeah. Yep. Can confirm because that is a long drive
Yeah, I've never
or go.
Texas. That's a home of a lot of great wrestlers, man. You got the Sportatorium in Dallas, world class, and then you got the West Texas territory with Blanchards and them, and the Funks, and yeah, man, Texas.
Booker
Sam Houston
T's Reality of
Coliseum.
Wrestling.
Yeah,
Yep.
Booker T's Reality of Wrestling. So yeah, if
Yep.
you go to
And
Texas and can't find a wrestling, that's your fault.
Yeah, that's your neck of the woods, though, Brad.
yeah, there's plenty of wrestling out there. I mean, I was even going to say even the Paul Bosch era back at the Sam Houston Coliseum,
Yep.
like out there, dude. Texas, if you can't find a pro wrestling show in Texas, something is wrong. You ain't looking, you ain't listening, you ain't Houston. Example, they have at least reality of wrestling. Well, they're in Texas City, so they're South Houston.
Mm.
You got New Texas Pro Wrestling. You've got I think Deadlock Pro is doing a show in Houston, or I think in the next couple of weeks. So you've got Houston, you got Austin, you got San Antonio, Mission Pro, um, Dallas. Plenty of wrestling out there, plenty of it. So,
Like my mom used to say about people that couldn't find a job. If you want a job, it's out there if you want it. All you gotta do is get it.
Mhm.
Yeah, she never lied about that, man. She never really lied about that, man. I gotta tell you a little quick story about my dad, man. My dad was the one that got me into wrestling. So we got some more show, y'all, I promise. So my dad was like, he was in it. Like he was like bouncing off the ropes, like he was doing all this good stuff. And I'm like, Daddy, what's going on? And like my daddy was in it. He was in it. When somebody would get chopped, he thought he'd be in the chair getting chopped and everything. Like, you got to sell this 70-year-old man just like acting like he was about 5 or 6, like he was getting hit by the chops. But man, yeah, my daddy got me into it, man. It's so funny when I tell the story, man. Every time I hear somebody get chopped, I'm like, daddy, see, there you go. Yeah. The chop lives on forever. All right, well, we're gonna take a little quick commercial break. I know we rambled a little bit, but guess what? We're here now. You're listening. You love it. You want to go to the store and get some tahini and apples. Coming up next, we're gonna debut a new segment. Stick State! Don't you dare go away. Come on
Come
back.
back now.
Come back now. Come back now. Don't
come
run.
on, come on now,
Yeah, you gotta come back. Because the Juggernaut
come
said so.
on.
Please.
Connoisseurs of Pro Wrestling Podcast. We'll be back at you.
Pretty
Stay tuned.
please with sugar
Yeah.
and tahini.
Tahini, I'm telling you, man, that tahini apples. I know what I'm doing. We'll be back, y'all. We'll be back. So you did decide to stick around and come back to the Connoisseurs of Pro Wrestling Podcast. Once again, it's Eddie, it's Marcus, it's Brad, and we're here to talk about everything that's been going on in the world of pro graps. Monday night we had a production meeting between us three in the creative room, at the writers' room, whatever they call it. And you say, you know what? It's time for us to introduce some segments and try to get you listeners involved and everything. But as of right now, we're going to experiment with this segment called Who's Simmering, Who's Cooking, and Ding Ding Ding, Who's Ready Now? Who is ready now? We kind of base it off of like the cooking in the kitchen or something like that, because a few of us have experience working in the kitchen, and so you got your simmering, you got your cooking, and then ready to get up out of here, unless you run out of food, and that's never fun. All right, so here's how we're gonna do it. Each of us, we pick 3 wrestlers, and we tell you who's simmering, who's cooking, and who's ready now. And with that being said, I'll go first. Who's simmering? I'm gonna have to give that to Saul Ruka. Saul's sister Saul herself.
Mm.
There is something
A good one.
about her. Yes, there is something about her that I like. I am pulled towards. She got that whole surfer girl vibe, and she's hella athletic. She does her thing. She is smooth. I'm talking about. I mean, she is just super smooth at what she does. It doesn't look forced. She looks natural. She looks like a natural. Now, when it comes to the mic, need to work on her mic skills a little bit. But as of right now, Saul's sister, Saul Ruka, she is simmering. And the thing about it is, this list doesn't have to be pertained to one promotion, to various promotions. So I'm not, not trying to have it be WWE centric, ROH centric, but sometimes it is what it is. Rad, who you got? Who's simmering?
For me, I got
Yes, sir.
hologram.
Okay.
Hologram is simmering. He's getting there. Yeah, after what 2 or 3 appearances on Collision so
Mm-hmm.
far, this guy has captivated the audience like no one I've seen in a while. The ability, like especially who he's gone against. I think he went against Gringo Loco. Then he went against the Beast Mortos, which
Mm-hmm.
was one of the most cool matches. That's one of the best lucha matches I've seen in a while in person. And he's he's over with the crowd. He does great moves, and he doesn't have a consistent finisher. So you never know how he's going to beat you. So that's what I think is simmering right now.
Uncle Marcus, what say you?
All right. My person who I think is simmering, I have to go with her, the queen herself. All hail to Queen Amanada.
She's our
Um,
queen.
to be
He
She
queen
another
of perfection.
she
Yeah, I
another
am.
one over here breaking stuff, but go ahead.
Yes, it's breaking something,
Yeah.
something. I don't know. Yeah, Eddie shared a picture with us today, y'all, and she's breaking something. Let me just say that. But
Yeah.
my reasoning for saying that I had the pleasure of seeing Queen Amanada ever before she hit. Well, I can't say ever before because I'm sure she was on some episodes of AEW Dark and Dark Elevation. I didn't really watch those all that much when they were around, but I had the pleasure of seeing Queen Amanada several times live here in Atlanta at the Battle Slam promotion, and she arguably was the most over person there. She had an undefeated streak. When she came out, all the locals would just go nuts, go all hell, and they would bring out rose petals, kind of like the girls in Coming to America, and she would walk on them, and just regal and all. I'm like, yo, who's this fine piece of African chocolate here? And not
Yes.
only does she look great, and I don't even mean just like damn, she looked good because she does look good, but she has a great look as a wrestler. But that girl can go in the ring. Like there were several of those shows that I've seen her in live where she had the best match of the night, in my opinion. And then once she finally showed up on AEW/ROH, I know she impressed a lot of people with some of
Mm-hmm.
those matches she had with Statlander, and a few other people. They were like, "Oh wow, this she's good." And
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, she's stuck behind the ROH paywall right now. But even then, from what I see, what I understand, she's still doing great things. Like she had, and I know you were there for it, Brad, the match with her and Athena for the women's championship, a week ago or 2 weeks ago, whenever that was. But
Yeah.
that girl is amazing. She looks great. She I can't really say she's much of a talker. I haven't really heard her cut a promo like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like to see it. I mean, I do remember, the whole thing with Athena when she came out faking her knee or her foot injury and all that. She talked a little bit, but I would like to see her just cut a straight up classic promo, or whatever. But yeah, I think once people finally catch on, once TK catches on and realizes what diamond in the rough he has right now, he's gonna push her to the moon.
Makes sense, man. Yeah, you got somebody like her, man. You got to push her to the moon, man. She got the look. She's girl. You got it. As that
Mhm.
song goes. That song goes. All right. With that being said, let's go ahead and turn that burn up a little bit. I have two. I have two because I was thinking. I was like, if I do one, I wouldn't do the other one justice. And I'll explain for both. My 2A is Ludwig Kaiser.
Ooh.
Now,
Okay.
Ludwig Kaiser is cooking, and I've said it in the group numerous times, and I think I said it probably about whenever Eichner split from the group. I said to myself, the whole time I'm thinking Fabian Eichner or Giovanni Vici or whatever. I'm thinking Fabian Eichner is the star of the tag team. Boy, was I wrong, to steal a line from the Almighty Be Live. I was so
Mhm.
wrong about that. Ludwig Kaiser has that presence. Instead of an arrogant foreign heel, an annoying foreign heel. Like, I'm better than you. My stuff don't stink. I'm Ludwig Kaiser. I'm part of Imperium, and I'm just pretty much better than you. No matter what you do, I'm great. I mean, the guy's got a good look. He's a fool on the mic. He's good in the ring. So I'm probably saying, like, in another year, he gonna be ready. He's gonna be ready. And I don't want to say it's gonna take a series of injuries for him to get pushed up, but something's gonna happen where him and Gunther have friction, and then the Imperium can split up and go their own way, and then Ludwig Kaiser can be the star that we all know he is, and Gunther or Walter can just keep on being Walter. So, all right.
Ludwig Kaiser.
Yeah,
Love how
Ludwig
Sam says that.
Kaiser.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Kaiser.
so smooth how she says it. Ludwig. It's
yeah,
so
yeah. And to you poop butts still hating on Sam Irvin, I'll say that for another day. With that being said, Brad, who's cooking? Turn that burner up. Who you
Oh,
got?
real quick, who was the other one? You said you
Oh,
had
I'm
a
sorry. Yes,
yeah,
Chris.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Chris Bay from TNA.
Oh, Bay
Ooh.
is
The
Bay.
the ultimate finesser. He was in the Bullet Club. Him and Ace Austin won the tag team championships. Chris Bay is something special. Was he like a former X Division champion as well too?
Yes.
Yeah. So the,
Yes.
the ultimate finesser, he can get it done in the ring, on this microphone, on commentary. You name it, Chris Bay can do it, man. He's a five-tool player, and he's another guy. Like I'm saying, it's probably going to either. I hope it don't take a series of injuries, but it's a matter of time, within a year or two, that he goes from cooking to on fire. So that's what I got for cooking. 2A, Ludwig Kaiser, and 2B, Chris Bay. All right, Brad, who you got? Who's cooking?
All right. So for me, like it was so hard to pick this. It was so difficult because there's so many people that are like on that cusp right now. They cooking, turn up the heat on them. So there's a couple of them for me as well. The first one, I'm gonna say the infantry out of Ring of Honor. The trios of Kali Bravo, Captain Sean Dean, and Trisha Dora.
Mm-hmm.
Those three are currently, they're doing great things in Ring of Honor, and watching the infantry as a tag team, those guys can go. Those guys are probably next in line for a Ring of Honor tag team title against Undisputed Kingdom match pretty soon. So I'm hoping that these guys can continue to cook, and then once they're ready, they're ready to put the belts on those guys. I'm tired of Matt Taven. Tired.
Yeah, they
Tired
don't
of you,
really
Matt
doing anything
Taven.
with those belts. Yeah, it's like, all right, y'all let somebody else have them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like mostly on the Ring of Honor Honor Club. That's really where you only see those guys wrestle, and of course, behind the paywall. Um, you know, this weekend they have two tapings this weekend, so hoping that one of their matches at least on one of those tapings this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Hoping. And the other person is Thekla out of Stardom. Thekla, as you guys probably remember, a few summers ago, she was the one who was kind of doing like the back bend spider crawl, and
Mm-hmm.
she has like a suplex kind of mixed into that maneuver where she was doing that. Well, now she's like, ever since the stable that Julia had going, since they all broke up, everybody's kind of lost, and they kind of, they were kind of lost trying to find their way. Well, she's found her way with one of the worst heel factions in Stardom, and they rebranded themselves. They used to be called Odeo Tai, and then they broke that name up, but they got more members. They almost got as many members as the NWO. That's how
Dang.
many people are in this group. It's like 9 of them. That's
Gee.
what it seems like. They roll deep, but they have a new group. They're called HATE. It's a acronym, the word hate. And they have black shirts with white kind of spray painted letters on there. They're moving that merch, and she has really come up, and she's cooking right now. She's dastardly. She beats people with belts, stomp them out, everything. That was cooking, man. She is cooking.
That's good. That's good. Marcus, what say you?
Hmm. Man, I'm glad you said it. I actually got a couple of chefs cooking in the kitchen right now too. I
Okay,
actually had
okay.
a few for the summer part, but and real quick, honorable mention for Simmering, if we're doing this, Danny Garcia and Willa Yuta. Those boys are soon as they get some more miles under their belt, they're gonna be something special in the future. As for the cooks, though, let's see. My first one of my favorites, is Willow Bay herself, Willow Nightingale. That girl's been on a roll in the past year. Just ever since and I know like she got that first NWJP strong title out of circumstance because Mercedes Moné broke her foot in that match.
Mm-hmm.
But even while she held it down, and she just wasn't no fluke transit. I mean, she was a fluke. I guess you could call it a fluke, but she wasn't just some transitional champion just holding the belt until Monet came back around. She actually did it justice, and in the same sense, elevated herself on top of that, and that led to the program she had. That led to the TBS championship. That led to the CMLL championship that she has now. She's
Mm-hmm.
been featured a whole lot more on Dynamite and Collision and getting decent slots on the pay-per-view. She's just been great. She's improved greatly in the ring. And I may be biased saying this just because she's probably my favorite female wrestler in the game right now. She's improved so much. Like she's got a great look, she's got great charisma, she can speak on the mic, she can go in the ring, and she can wrestle different styles. We've seen her get down and dirty with it. She, mainly has the power, classic pro wrestling style to her, but she can brawl when she needs to. And she has a few little technical locks and holes and stuff in there as well. Some of the other two, I know I'm getting a little long here, and
That's
I know
cool.
I'm surprised neither one of y'all said him here, unless y'all saved him for the next spot. Konosuke Takeshita. That dude is on fire right now. He's just I haven't seen anything he's done with the G1 yet, but from what I understand, he's getting it over there, and he's been getting it on AEW programming and stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't seen anything from DDT, but there's a reason why I'm sure they plucked him from DDT and pulled him over here to AEW because that dude's amazing. He put on an absolute banger with Osprey earlier this year, and has some other great matches under his belt. And last one for Cook, Speedball Mike Bailey.
Oh
That dude's
yeah.
a workhorse. Good grief, that dude's been working. Every time I see something online, he's doing some kind of indie promotion on top of his gig in TNA. Here's another person I've got the pleasure of seeing twice in Battle Slam here. Actually met him. He almost kicked my hand in one show. You know how he kicks his hands instead of
Yeah.
slapping hands? I happened to have a little too much to drink that night, and so I moved it, and he missed. And he kind of looked at me. He was like, "Oh, you got me!" Like I didn't even mean to. I was just kind of drunk. But but yeah,
You
man,
about to break my fingers. I ain't
it's
messing with
like
you.
I swear I didn't mean to do it. But but yeah, that dude can go, man. That dude's amazing in the ring. Like I love his martial arts style mixed with the wrestling, a la people like RVD, Ricky Steamboat, and just other guys who have done it. He does it so well. And I hope that, he's given a more of an uppercard push in TNA going forward, if not, wherever else he's going.
Cool, cool. All right. So now we've come to the moment where the dish is prepared, the plate has been wiped, the last line of defense is checking it before it goes out onto the floor. Who's ready now? Not now, but right now. I think it's long overdue, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Moose. Moose. Moose is long overdue. I don't know what the deal is, but I think he can go to I think he can go to AEW and really make some noise. But part of me really wants to see him on WWE television just to see how he fits in with the cornucopia of other athletes there as well too, because you got to think about it, he was a former football player. So he's an athlete for real. I like to see him tangled up with the Street Profits. I like to see him tangled up with, AJ Styles. I mean, hell, I would even like to see him tangled up with Obafemi.
Oof.
The match we really been wanting. Yeah. I like to see him tangled with Obafemi, but I think I remember Moose first started, and you can see where he was slower starting to put it together. But then finally he started putting it together. And then he started putting it together. And then he started putting it together in the ring, from the way he dresses, the way he carries himself. He lost weight. He's leaner now. And so Moose is the truth. Moose is the absolute truth. So Moose, you're next. You ready right now? Not now, but right now. Brad, what say you?
Right. So for a person who's ready, who's ready, who's in a window, I'd say it's Takeshita, Konosuke Takeshita. That dude is there. He's been on his U.S. exodus for a bit, and right now, as we mentioned before, he's in the G1. Like right now, he is. What's his record in G1? He's 4-3 in the G1, but he's got 8 points.
Mm-hmm.
But each match that he's had, he stood out in every single match. Whether it be there in Japan, the stuff he was doing on the indies,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff he's doing in AEW, even though, like he's had high profile matches. And I got to see him and Osprey. That was a match.
Mm-hmm.
Bonkers.
I mean, the false finishes, the moves, just everything about it, like that. Like, if he can get a title within the next 1 or 2 years, he definitely deserves that. Whether it be TNT or international, whichever one he can get, he needs one of the two titles.
Yeah, because
So yeah, he is.
I remember when he first came in, I was like, who is this dude? And then he just started beating everybody, like Bob Holly. And I was like, oh, look at him. I'm like, this dude is pretty good. And so now we, between his run now in AEW and that G1 run that day, G1 made a lot of people. G1 made a lot of people. So yeah, Takeshita, man, that's that dude. Uncle Marcus, who you
Yo,
got?
yo, I'm glad you said Obafemi because totally forgot about him, and I would definitely put him in one of the previous two categories. Like, I think that dude's prepping and cooking. That dude's
Mm,
amazing. He's gonna be something special once he's ready. As for in the window, ready to be run to the table,
yeah,
fresh, piping hot, ready to go. Um, Another three. I'll do these much quicker. First one, Roxanne Perez. That girl can go. I first came wind of her when she was in ROH before TK bought him out. She was Roxy,
Roxy, yeah.
um, women's champ there. I was like, wow, who's this little 18, 19-year-old girl just going in right now? The girl can wrestle. She's been great in NXT. I don't think she makes for a great heel. She's a natural face. She's just a natural face. And maybe once she gets older and starts to mature a little bit and starts to look a little bit more like I'm not trying to say look older, but look older. I think maybe she could try the heel turn, but she's just too cute, if that
Yeah,
makes sense, to
yeah.
be a heel right now. She's a great face. I think she'll always be a great quote unquote underdog, even though she can wrestle rings around half the people she get in there with.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think she's ready for the main roster, and I think she should be catapulted towards the top of the card for the women once she gets there. Second one, ZSJ, Zack Sabre Jr. That dude's amazing. That dude can go in the ring. Oh my goodness, he can go. He's like he's like the bastard child of Steven Regal and Brian Danielson. Just gritty. He can talk some shit. He's technical. The dude is just flat out amazing. And I'm not sure, I haven't got to see it. I haven't seen him in the G1 yet. I know he's making a big push this year to try to win that. I hope he's a finalist at the very least. But and he's one of those guys I'm still kind of coming around to seeing, but like instantly he was one of my favorites. Like this dude's amazing. And finally, this is about to blow your mind possibly. Dominic Mysterio. Yes, Dom Mysterio.
Hey,
I don't know what
okay.
it is. That dude is amazing as a heel. He might not be the best in the ring. His ring in ring work is just very. It's not bad. It's not horrible. It's kind of vanilla if you ask me. But his character work, his heel work. That dude is one of the best heels. Like I said earlier, how do you become even more of a heel when you're already a heel? That dude had like there are three people in wrestling that generate massive heat. It would be Don Callis, MJF, and Dominic Mysterio. Those three right there seem they garner the most heat in wrestling. That dude knows how to get it. That dude knows how to just really get up under the nails and under the skin of audiences. And just he's just been doing. I mean, he did not much to look at. He looks weird. He's got the weird looking mullet and the mustache, and looks kind of like a hybrid of Eddie Guerrero and a rat. The dude, I don't know, he's doing something great, and I can see him being world champion sooner rather than later.
Oh man.
Call me crazy.
You know what? You're not crazy. You're not crazy,
You're
especially
not.
when it come to Dirty Dom. Just like we said, how in the hell you gonna come in here as a heel and then double down? Like I've never I've been watching wrestling in the 30 some years. I ain't never seen nothing like that. I ain't never seen nothing. I ain't. He had to beat his dad ass first and foremost to get him out the way, to establish identity. So they go to booze already, and then he did some other foul stuff, and there's some more booze already. And so then he lined up with the Judgment Day, and then you got Rhea Ripley's whispering them sweet nasties in his ears or licking in his face, and it's just him being a classic, a chicken, what heel. You know what I'm saying? Being a classic chicken shit heel. And so it's just what he's doing fits him. That whole babyface mask.
But to that point though, watch in the future when he does go face again. Like they're gonna have to do something so over the top to make people sympathetic for him and make his redemption story so great. And that's what I'm thinking is gonna be it. Like, wow, it's just gonna catapult him. I don't know what it's gonna be because that dude is just so far gone, especially after last week. But I have a feeling when that turn comes and when he does go face again, he's gonna be like over like Rover somehow. Just a
Yeah.
wild prediction, but who knows?
It ain't wild because once they go to Netflix, man, anything is possible. Like anything is possible, man. It's just knowing that, like I said, how in the hell do you do a double? You come in as a heel and you turn heel again, like you.
Even more heel.
I mean, you go from Texas Pete to 5-star hot sauce.
You want some habanero Carolina Reaper hot
Go
sauce at that
Ghost
point.
Pepper. I mean, he's on the when it comes to Dominic Mysterio and him getting heat, he's on like the whole. Hey, look, before you ingest this here hot sauce, you better sign this waiver.
Like, dang, is that bad? Yeah,
Yeah,
man, you about
It
to
is.
lose some intestinal walls here
yeah,
consuming this. That's how hot.
That's that Scoville scale, man. Scoville scale is just good. I'm
yeah.
still baffled. I'm still baffled. Like, how do you become a absolutely worst character when you're already the worst character? Like, how?
Did it.
He got damn it, he got that boy got the formula. He got the juice. He got the sauce. he got something because you just don't. That doesn't just happen. That doesn't just happen. All
Oh,
right, so we hope you enjoyed our first inaugural edition of Who's Simmering, Who's Cooking, and Who's Ready Now. Let us know who you think, who's simmering, who's cooking, and who's ready now. Well, we just might read your responses right here on the Connoisseurs of Pro Wrestling podcast. This is a podcast by the pro wrestling fan for the pro wrestling fan, just the way you like it. We ain't got nobody screaming in our ears, no corporate sponsors, none of that riffraff, so we can kind of do what the hell we wants to do. All right, before we go home and get the hell up out of here, two things we want to talk about. Becky Lynch, she made an Instagram post and said it's been a hell of a ride after her documentary on A&E, and some people are speculating that to be a retirement message. Do you think people are looking too much into it, or could it be some fact behind it?
uh, want to go first, Brad? No. Okay, I forgot.
The
That's
floor
not
is
your turn.
yours. It
Yeah.
is not my jam. The floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, it's not your turn. I was trying to be nice. I realized I was talking a lot in the last segment, but I don't know, man, because yeah, I know I was one of the first people to break the news in the Blurs of Wrestling group, and it is quite cryptic. And immediately somebody was like, "Oh, well, they just showed her A&E biography and
Mm,
whatever, and maybe that was just her kind of
saying
saying thank you."
thank you.
But
Yeah.
I don't know the way she worded it though. It does seem kind of like a goodbye. It's like, hey, it's been an honor to be. It's been an honor to be the man. It's a privilege to be her, and of course, it was a picture of her and Rue. It's been a
Mm,
privilege to be her mom. And even, just going back to when she first dropped the title to go when she was pregnant to Oscar a couple of years ago, like you could just hear and see, and especially me now that I'm a parent, I understand just, and knowing what my wife feels about how she feels about her daughter, I get that,
mm,
especially, I do get there's some women out there that they're all for being on the road and they want to do it and they want to get back to their kids, or either they bring their kids on the road. But Becky kind of gives me the vibe that she just wants to be mom right now. I could be wrong. Maybe she's holding out for more money. Maybe she might be going to AEW. Some people are speculating that even. I doubt it. She's a company woman. She strikes me as a company woman. Plus her husband's still in WWE, even though he's smushed flat now. But
yeah.
I don't if she's retiring, I see she's retiring for good. I don't see her jumping ship to anywhere else.
Yeah. I think, I like I told somebody the other day, never say never. Never say never. And like you said, she might want to be a mom for a little bit. Can't really blame her. You got young kids and you want to be there for certain things. If she wants to be a mom, man, more power to her. So that's what I got to say about that. So I mean, more power to Becky Lynch. Hey, if this is it, thank you for 10 plus years of awesome memories. It took Nia Jax socking you in the nose to prepare you to be the man, and the rest, as they say, is history. So if this is it, Becky Lynch, thanks.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Irish
Thanks.
salute.
Yep. And before we go ahead and really get the hell up out of here, uh, it's been some beef, fellas, between Triple H and MVP. MVP has not been, ever since his contract expired last week, he has not been holding back about how he feels about Paul Levesque. And it's quite interesting. You think that they would have any problems, but then again, man, you never know, man. Like I wonder what maybe MVP knows something that we don't. I'm thinking because from what I hear, from what I've seen, to say what you say, or say you got a lot to say, or time to expose the truth. I mean, after all, 2024 is the year of the truth. Look what Cat Williams did. Look at all this mess coming out by these other celebrities and superstars and everything. So I mean, maybe it's Triple H's turn. I mean, Marcus,
Maybe.
Marcus, what you think about it? And Brad, we're gonna ask you too. I mean, because MVP is one of those dudes, man. What you think,
Uh,
Marcus?
yeah, I think if nothing else, MVP, I mean, he was backstage. I'm sure he's known Hunter for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Back when Hunter was still wrestling full time, and yeah, sure, he was married to Steph and a part of the McMahon Helmsley family or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure he got to see a lot of, what Triple H was accused of back then of, just burying people and just having that pool of, pushing people he likes and, just anybody that he likes or doesn't like or whatever. Part of it kind of felt maybe like there was a little bit of a bitter seed there too. I don't want to say MVP's wrong, like because clearly he's backstage. He has a front row seat for it. But it does kind of seem a little like maybe there's a tender spot for him. Kind of going back to what we were talking about, I believe it was last episode where, we addressed is Triple H racist or not. I know in some of the tweets he has insinuated that Triple H is indeed racist or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know the guy. I can't say if he is or isn't. I just see what I see on TV, and hear what I hear via dirt sheets and just on the internet and whatever. Who knows what's true? Who knows what's a lie? Um, I don't know. I'm sure there's lots of truth to what MVP is saying, but then you know what they always say: there's two sides. There's three sides. There's
Yep.
his side, and the truth. So
Yep.
who knows what? I wish MVP well. I would love to see the Hurt Business or the Beatdown Clan reunite somewhere down the line, whether it's in TNA, whether it's in AEW, whether it's MLW, wherever it may be, New Japan. It would be cool to see him and Shelton and Cedric and uh Cedric still in WWE, but it would be cool to see them get back together. I wish them well, but I don't know how to call that one, honestly.
Brad, what say you?
After just kind of hearing about what's happened over the last couple of weeks and all those things, I think that breakup of the Hurt Business really did strike a chord because that was kind of when I was like nearing checkout time, but I was like, man, the Hurt Business is kind of cool. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
like these brothers coming out in suit, all about business. They're winning
Yeah.
championships. MVP is like their like talker guy.
Mm-hmm.
This is great. Like this works. This works. But then for them to just kind of break them up for whatever reason, it didn't make sense. It made zero sense for them
Right.
Mm-hmm.
to break that faction up because I think honestly people were getting too behind it. And as they always say, they can't get behind us, for certain reason for too long. Otherwise, they
Yep.
rise up, snatch that carpet.
Yep.
And we all remember Sophie and Brock. So
Oh,
that's
And Big E and Brock.
and
yeah.
Big E and Brock and was it Lashley and Brock too, or did Lashley beat Brock Lesnar?
But
I can't remember because
Didn't
there's
Lashley beat Brock? I think it was that one ended in a DQ, but at least
Mm-hmm.
yeah
Lashley got some offense in.
yeah yeah it's just one of those things that I think how having seen MVP for all these years and just I have a friend who's friends with him. It's just he's not gonna make nothing up. I'll just say that he's not going to make anything up. So there has to be something behind this. And when he showed up at Bloodsport a couple weekends ago, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, here we go. I was like, he ready. He's ready for this. So I'm hoping that some light can be shed on this, and we can get when we'll get to see Shelton MVP, and as like especially Bobby Lashley's gonna leave. Let those three go do more fun stuff on the independents. Let them go have fun. Let them go make money.
Yeah.
And for Triple H to like constantly push black talent, it feels like it's this weird, am I doing this for show? And then behind the scenes, I'm one way, or is he consistent throughout? Who knows? Who knows?
That's true because we talked about it. Was it the other week we talked about this with Triple H, and now we actually have somebody coming out talking like old. And I always tell myself, if you hear the same thing from three different people, it might be some truth to it. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Because I mean, you know, if he says something and Cedric, I mean, Shelton comes out and says something, and Bobby comes out and says something, all right, damn, what the hell's going on? It's just you know, he that's one of the first things he should have done. He should have put the Hurt Business back together because Hurt Business was over. The Hurt Business was the Hurt Business, and it was great to see them, man. It was real great to see like 4 guys, you know, a few of them, you know, underutilized, get them together as a collective and let them just wreck shop and beat the hell out of everybody. So I mean, all right, Paul. I hope this ain't what we think it is. If so, you need to clean it up. And with that being said, in the words of BeLive, Zoom is doing his thing. With that being said, it's been another episode of the Connoisseurs of Pro Wrestling Podcast. We want to thank you, and even all them over there for listening to another episode of this here wonderful wrestling podcast. With that being said, I'm Eddie. That's Brad. That's Marcus. And in closing, do something nice for yourself. If you can, do something nice for someone else. They're greatly appreciated now more than ever. Be a blessing, not a burden. And to those affected by Hurricane Debbie, we are praying for you. To those affected by the storm up here in Northeast Ohio, we're praying for you as well, too. It's been another episode of the Connoisseurs of Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Peace, y'all.
Yeah, we got to get up out of here. Boom, let me in.
I'm Juggernaut.